So one of the things I wanted to mention here, well, it's not here yet. Um, anyways, right, you know what? We're restarting. Fuck this. Attempt number 3. Take 3.
That's my best friend.
Alright guys, today I want to go ahead and go over the Shin matchup. Shin is pretty overpowered ever since he got his last buff, which was not necessary. But we're going to have to go ahead and deal with it. The good news is Riven is actually one of the better matchups against Shin. But with that in mind, Shin still beats Riven early game, and that they just gave him 20 extra shield on his Q, which is kind of crazy. It was already pretty massive. And if they're taking grasp, I mean, you're going to get bullied in the early lane phase, but we're going to try to figure out how to go ahead and deal with him, and that's what I'm here to show you today. You can go ahead and see the runes that I took for this game in the build. I pretty much always start Doran Shield against Shin if I'm in higher rank. That's because he's such a big bully early on. I kind of just try to get whatever minions I can. I think Longsword's okay, especially if you're in other ranks. I wouldn't go Doran's Blade in this one, though. You're not going to be able to push up versus Shin. He can sit right next to your minions, and you're just gonna have to watch him. So you really don't want to be low health in this matchup. Also, I just took normal Conqueror Triumph. I usually take Tenacity in this matchup if they have any decent CC, since Shin already has like a nice taunt. If you don't have any Tenacity, Shin gets an extra auto attack in with his taunt before you're able to stun him, and that's pretty big. In the early game, it's still going to hit you. That's why the taunt's going to hurt you a lot in the early game, because you don't have that tenacity yet. But later into the game, it's just one less auto you have to take. They also have a Morgana, which her Q lasts super long. It's great for Caitlyn traps, and Rengar E lasts quite a while, though it's kind of hard to get hit by it. But anyways, tenacity is just really strong. Obviously took inspiration secondary with boots and CDR. One thing that is worth mentioning is that the armor versus magic resist in the rune tree, Shin actually does a lot of magic damage early game. People think he's all physical, but he does a good amount of magic damage, especially when they take grasp. So if their jungler is AP and they have like an AP mid laner, like it's really good to go ahead and take the magic resist rune top lane. Shin mainly does physical damage, so I mean you generally want to take physical damage. You kind of just look at their jungler. I think people definitely underrate the magic resist rune versus Shin. He does so much magic damage. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. I'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Let's get into the lane phase. You don't want to trade with him level 1. You're not going to be able to push versus level 1. If you push level 1, he's just going to freeze the wave on you and you're going to have a bad time. Now, for anybody who takes resolve and you think they're taking bone play, you want to try to pop their bone playing if you can. The best way to do is the third Q. But in this matchup, it doesn't matter too much anyways, because you're not gonna be able to trade with him at any point until you hit level 3. But obviously, you go for it. You can tell he doesn't have bone plating because I just third Q'd him and didn't pop. I'm kind of just waiting for him to push the wave. What helps a lot, and like I want to rewind this real quick because this is what I don't see a lot of remains do that, especially once you get to higher rank. This is really important. You need to learn to last hit with your Q a lot of times. More specifically in the bully matchups, because what happens here is Shin. If I go to auto attack this minion, well, one, I'd have to already be up here, but he can go up and auto attack me. But a lot of times I can actually Q the minion, and because there's like more range to it. Watch it. See how far away from I am from this minion, and I get this minion just by queuing over to it. So it helps a lot in those bully matchups, whether they can stand next to your minions, or especially in ranged matchups when you're getting poked under tower. It can mean one less auto attack, which definitely adds up a lot. So you actually see that I last hit a lot with Q, especially if I don't start Doran's Blade. Dodging his taunt is huge in this matchup. I mean, you will take a lot of damage if you get hit with taunt. And it will happen sometimes. That's why I go Doran Shield. Because I want to be able to, sustain back. I just want to get whatever minions I can. Once you get some levels and a little bit of items, you'll start to beat them. but his early lane phase is really strong. Now that we hit level 3, once the wave kind of settles down a little bit, you see how he has a lot of minions. We still don't want to get taunted, but once the wave resets, we can maybe look for some trades. You see there's a taunt. We just try to get out of there. You see how much damage I took? I took 300 damage from getting taunted one time. Granted, he did have a mini wave with him. He's trying to bully me off these minions. I remember he does a good job of punishing while I'm under tower. And you see how massive that shield is. It wasn't even worth it for me to go for that. It was a really nice trade from Shin. Let's try to do what we can. I don't think the CS is looking too bad here. Make sure you don't auto him during his W. You can try to chain CC him and then leave. I still lose the trade, but it's not like too bad. So here's something we might want to go over, a little short trade. If I can get back to it, Jesus. Okay, right here. So an important thing, and this is for any matchup that relies on auto attacks. If we have like 2 Qs ready, we can get a really easy, simple trade by stunning them, and then instantly third Qing them, auto attack, and then when they go to auto us, we E away. Now, I tried to do something different here because he had his shield up, I believe. I actually didn't want to go for an auto attack and I didn't want to waste my E. I tried to just WQ him and walk away, but here you also see Shin is actually a ranged champion. So because he auto attacks me from like 3 or 4 minions away, we just take a big hit, and I remember freaking out on stream. That's the most annoying part about Shin, to be honest. Just do your best. The only time you can really go in on Shin and try to kill him is when his E and his W are down. So you can try to look for times, like right here, it was actually a time. I'll go back and you'll see he goes to try to taunt me, and he uses W in a pretty bad way. But even if he wins that trade, if you're behind in health, a lot of times you can turn on him. So there's this taunt, right? He does hit me with the taunt. I lose the trade. It's bad for me. And then he tries to use his W because he thinks I'm going to stay on him. This is his biggest mistake. And even though we're really far behind in health, like, we're good here. He doesn't have his EW or his Q. Even with his Q, we're still in a good position. We just wait for our abilities to come up because his W and E have like an 18-second cooldown. So we want to capitalize that if we ever can, you know. And High Challenger, they're going to recognize that they're very weak with that off. And he doesn't go for too much, but he tries to auto attack me when I go for this cannon minion. He wants to punish me for going for the cannon minion. But even without this auto attack, like, I could have, maybe what I should have done was give up the cannon minion and just auto attack him here, but I guess I felt pretty confident that I could go for the cannon and fight him, which is what happened. As soon as I killed the cannon, I go for a trade on him, and he's just dead. So you have to look for opportunities on Shin. And this, I mean, it was a pretty big mistake from him, but I mean, this is Grandmasters, and this is a Shin main. He has like a 61% win rate on Shin. Right here, I'll almost get a pretty cool play here, and I'm stupid and think I can kill Shin too. But so we actually got a really nice buy here. I think Shin is one of the few matches where you actually can go with Cleaver Rush if you want to, especially if you're behind. But because I got ahead here, I'm like, you know, I don't even care if he builds armor here. I want to go and get the Warhammer to try to snowball with my lead. And he does. He goes Chain Vest. He goes full tank. I mean, most Shins will. But I think it's still okay to go with Warhammer while his or if you get like a nice little lead. So here we see again, he outtrades me because he uses his E and his W. He lands the taunt, you know. I'm not trying to get hit by the taunt here. I'm just trying to make up for the situation after, where you can see I'm much lower health. But I'm still trying to go for something. You know, I'm trying to push this in and maybe back. But if he goes to auto attack me here, I know his E and his W are down. I will be good here. And that's exactly what I do. He steps up a little too close, I instantly go for an all in. Now, I'm sorry, my stream freezes here. I don't have the best computer. Um, but I'm just trying to show you the opportunity where, like, don't be super afraid when his E and his W are down. That's how you win this matchup. If the Shin is really smart and plays back, then at the very least, it's a farm lane until you get your cleaver, and then you can abuse them really hard. So we see we do get 2 kills on him. We're still only 1 kill ahead because we gave him a free kill earlier by accident, and I think he ends up ulting bot lane and getting a kill up there. So we're pretty even. I'm up in CS though because he did go bot. So I'm still feeling pretty confident here. And we're just gonna keep watching the lane phase, and we'll see just that how, like, after we get some items and some levels, we can start to be aggressive. It's only like the early lane phase where you have to be really careful. You just really want to watch out for his E and W. Once those are down, you have to play aggressive. And here again, look, he's even under his tower, almost full health, and he built full tank. But his E and his W are down. I'm looking for an all in here. You have to know when you can dive. That's how you snowball with Riven. Like, I don't see enough Rivens to go for dives. I'm diving all the time. You have to understand when your opportunity is there. And now we're just pretty big. We back off. We get a cleaver. We're really strong here. We'll maybe look at maybe a couple more trades in lane phase, and then I think you guys get the idea. Just try not to trade with them early. Dodge his taunt. Watch for his W and E cooldowns. Those are the main points of Shin. Well, I guess we... Oh, here we go. We'll do one more fight. It looks like they go Rift Turtle top. There's not really much of a lane after. I don't even know what happens here. Alright. Yeah, after this, it just goes into macro. You know, the lane phase is over. That's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. Shin is definitely a rough lane in the very early lane phase. Just don't die to him and don't lose out on too much farm. There's one more thing I want to show you guys that I try to look for. I think I ended up doing it at level 1. You just gotta... It's called getting airtime. And this is a strat not many people can pull off. You have to be a super omega giga chat athlete for this one. But pay attention. You got those thighs. Those thunder thighs. You start getting some lift. Start getting some lift, yeah! Look at this, no hands! No hands!